Rita and Teresa were the first two chimpanzees to arrive at Chimp Haven. Their arrival was very exciting for the staff. There were a lot of us on site when they came in. I remember us cheering as the truck came into the sanctuary, driving up with them. They were chimps that myself, Dr. Linda Brent, and Dr. Tom Butler, and others also knew. Rita and Teresa were the first, but there were additional chimpanzees that kept arriving, and we were making new groups sort of consistently over the next few months. One group, actually, at that point in time. We were making one very large group, and that group was the first group to go out into the habitat.
We weren't sure on that day well, we figured they'd come outside, but we weren't really sure if they'd be afraid and not really go anywhere. I mean, you got to think about it. Most of them had never been outside of a cage. It sounds awful, but it's safety for them. They don't know what's beyond those bars. And so this was a really big experiment for these animals. And we were just shocked. There's a whole mess of us, watching and taking pictures and everything. But when we opened the doors, they just shot out. And all of them started running down the right side of the habitat wall. And we had to run down the side to keep up. And then they went around kind of across the moat and back up the other side. And we were like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? And, we kind of realized, oh, well, what would chimps do in a new place? They would check their boundaries, right? Where are we? Who else is in here? They wanted to see. And then they started slowing down and looking at things. But I think one of the moments that, even though this was like so chaotic and exciting, there was like, in my mind, like this point in time where like everything went slow motion for a moment. And I can clearly remember Teresa making her way down and stopping and looking up at the sky. And like curious, like looking up at the sky. And we thought, well, that's really funny, that she's doing that. And we didn't know, maybe she was looking at the trees. But then we realized this was the first time that she was able to look up and not see bars over her head since she was a baby in Africa.
I was nervous about how the chimps were going to do that night. They actually did fabulous during the day, but wasn't sure about at night. And I actually camped out right here. Now this is a beautiful memorial garden for the chimps, but I camped out here across the moat to make sure the chimps were okay. The chimps all actually slept inside that evening. The chimpanzees did wonderful. And the next day we saw the first chimpanzee, Lolita, climb a tree for the first time.